Okay, folks, let's pause and take a moment and look at how we might download NetBeans for the PHP course. So what I've done is I've traversed to the https://netbeans.org whack downloads location, and I end up here. Now, first thing to note is you need to pick the platform that you're taking this class with. In my case, I'm going to be using Windows, but if you pull from the drop-down, you'll see that there's a Linux and there's a Mac installation as well. Within the Windows installation, you're going to find that there's several different options here. What we need for this class is simply the PHP download version, and we can either get the 32-bit version or we can get the 64-bit version here. Now, if you want, you can download the entire package, the entire NetBeans package, which includes all the additional tools like Java and C++ development tools, if you'd like, and that would be this download, which is both the 32-bit and the 64-bit version. Now, jumping over to the Mac, or to, well, let's look at Linux. Linux is the same way. In fact, most of you folks are going to be wanting to download, if you're using the Windows or Linux, most likely the 64-bit version. The 32-bit version is older, and the max your computer could address is 3 gigabytes of memory. Nowadays, with the 64-bit, you can address whatever memory is available. And on the Mac version, you have only one version download either side. So go ahead and pick which one you want to have downloaded, and let's go ahead and run through it right now. So I'm going to go back to Windows, and I'm going to select my 64-bit version and have it go through the download. Save it to my downloads folder and take a couple of minutes for it to download. And then we have down on the bottom left-hand corner, you see it's just about done here. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and run it. Okay, we're in the installer now. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. And of course, we all read the EULA here. I'm going to go accept the license agreement. And of course, one of the things you always want to make sure when you're downloading free software is the fact that you don't have accessory software coming up with it. Oftentimes you'll find out that you have, with tools like this, you might have toolbars that automatically pop up within your Netscape or your Edge or whatever you're using for a browser. So let's go ahead and click Next. I'm going to leave it in the default location and then install. Should be a pretty quick install here. There's not really that much to it. It certainly is not a large install as you would find if you were doing Visual Studio, which might take you as long as a half hour or so to do an installation. You find that depending upon the system you're running, this can take, I had one system I think it took 8 or 9 minutes to install on. Okay, folks, to save you a little bit of pain, I jumped forward to the end of the install. It took me about 5 minutes for the entire install to go along, and I ended up here. So one of the things you can do if you like is you can contribute user information back to NetBeans, and basically they're just taking a look at what you're doing. They send it back anonymously. They don't know who you are. That's strictly up to you if you want to go ahead and include it, and I'm going to go ahead and finish. And now, what I'm going to do is go back to my Start menu as soon as it's going to let me here. And let's take a look at NetBeans. So here's NetBeans installed. Let's just get it started for the very first time. Okay, and here's the opening window of NetBeans. So in our next demonstrations, we'll take a look at a little bit more about how to use it. But for now, this is how you install a package on your computer system.